Hello, hello, hello. Sir David Bard coming to you from Lala Poo Poo website. I had a Mormon, which I don't get too many Mormons anymore that make any kind of a comment. I mean, what can they say? I'm bending over and kissing my ass goodbye. Anyway, the essays have done it for most normal people thinking, or thinking people. Anyway, Poo Poo said to me, if I had worked as hard at trying to be a good Mormon as I was producing this video show, that maybe I would have seen the light, or maybe never done these shows. I don't need to defend myself. I never do. I never do. But I'm going to make this video because I don't want the Mormons in the back of their minds thinking that I was offended, that I was excommunicated, etc., etc. I resigned. I had a temple recommend in my pocket when I resigned. And I was a member of the church for over a half a century. Now, let me go back to when my parents were converted in Saginaw, Michigan. I went to primary. I sang all the primary songs. We advanced in the from the primary to, it wasn't called Young Men's, Aaronic Priesthood, I think it was called. I was ordained at 12. A deacon. I served the sacrament every damn day for all the time that I was in the Aaronic Priesthood. I baptized my brother. I was a priest in the Aaronic Priesthood, and I baptized my brother, and he's the stupid one in the Philippines. I wish I could take that baptism back. I don't want to see him in the celestial kingdom. Anyway, Mr. or Mrs. Poo Poo, I came all the way down through the young men's program and the young women's program, if you know what I mean. I participated in dance festivals. I participated in seminary, 4 years of seminary. I participated in young men's going to, or it was called the Improvement Association, the Home Improvement Association. I think it was called the Mutual, the Mutual Sunbeam, I don't remember. But I sang the song, Jesus Wants Me for His Sunbeam. I Hope I Go on a Mission. We didn't have that song. Follow the Prophet. We didn't have that song either. Well, I grew up around 18 years old, and I didn't want to go on a mission because I don't like sleeping with men. Never have. I like what's between the legs of the women. Just the way I am. I'm sorry, but I was interested in girlfriends. I had a nice car. I went to seminary every morning, and when I turned 19, I graduated, 18, and then I went to BYU. And I spent 5 or 6 years at BYU. I took every religion class they had there, in the Book of Mormon, etc., etc. I was an elder in the priesthood, and I was a home teacher, and I was active ever since primary. So Poo Poo, don't say, and don't put in the back of your mind, this is some kind of a Mormon who has a problem with the Mormon Church. My problem with the Mormon Church came when I was pushing 60, 55, whatever in there, and I read about Joseph Smith staring into a hat in a magic rock, and I go, you know what? I don't want my name on that. And then he's bumping up and down on Helen Mar Kimball under the covers, and she's 14. She didn't even have boobs. That's what I heard. Anyway, Brigham Young being a racist, and all of these essays that have come out against your church are on church stationery. They're not anti-Mormon stuff. They're on your stationery. Well, anyway, I got married when I was 19 in the Manti Temple. Pay me, lay me, and ail me. Oh God, don't slit my throat. Rather than suffer, I would suffer my life to be taken. Back in those days, the penalties were still there. And I was married there for 4 years, and then I married my high school sweetheart, and we got married in the Washington, D.C. temple. Pay me, lay me, and ail me again. I don't know if this marriage is going to work either. So anyway, we had children. We baptized all of our kids. I gave them blessings, all of our kids, and We were active all the time in the Mormon church, and we were sealed in the temple because she wasn't, well, she'd had abortions, and the first presidency apostle type guys had to come down and clear her to go into the temple. We're living there in Massachusetts. Well, anyway, as time went on there, we had 5 kids, and she gave up. She goes, I don't like doing this. And she didn't smoke, she didn't drink, she stopped that. I've never smoked, I've never drank. I had 2 glasses of wine here in the last 2 months, if that counts. I never had any fornication or adultery, or I had charges against me once in Newberry Park, California. I was divorced, and I was screwing the girl that ran the Starfleet, or not Starfleet Press, it was not the Press Enterprise. I can't remember, the Ventura paper. And I was bopping up and down on her, and the church found out. But I had custody of the kids, and they treated me like a woman, I guess. I had to sit at the end of the big table, and they said, all right, you enjoyed yourself, don't screw her anymore. I said, okay, and I didn't. And so they forgave me, I guess. And then I went on to marry my cheerleader wife, Jeannie the Weenie, from Mesquite, Oklahoma. And she was my first return missionary wife. And of course, we got married in the Salt Lake Temple. And she screwed the whole football team before she went on her mission many times. And then when she got back from her mission, she chose the elders quorum president in the BYU parking lot and screwed his brains out. So anyway, not me, her, the return missionary. So anyway, we had more kids, and I used to give blessings to the kids, which never worked. Never worked. And after Jeannie, 18 years, that was a long time, I decided, and whatever, to move on. So then I married Sandra after Jeannie the Weenie, and Sandra, oh my God, the green woman. Go back on my videos from 2 or 3 years ago. She was the lady that painted herself green, and I helped baptize her. And we went to church. We were faithful in the church, and I paid my tithing and some fast offerings. I didn't pay fast offerings every week, but I did pay tithing pretty regularly. And a long story short, the judge annulled the marriage because she was so mentally ill. He said, if you married the bard, you're mentally ill. So that marriage with Carolyn was absolved. Then I married Sandra, the satanic ritual abuse girl. She'd been a Mormon most of her life. And we went to the Las Vegas temple. We didn't get married in the temple in there. I was a veil worker, and they let me bring her through the veil. So I knew her magic name, and I was God. And then I was a veil worker for a year or 2, maybe more like a year, at the Los Angeles temple. I went down every Thursday and handled the veil, the male and the female side. And I've sent 2 kids on missions. I sent Dan, my own son, and I sent Rachel, my beautiful daughter. They both went on missions. And I've never, I've gone to tithing settlement, and I've done the hokey pokey, and I've done the Reformed Egyptian, and I read the Book of Mormon 8 or 9 or 15 or 100 times. It made no more sense after the first time. And I graduated from seminary, and pretty much moved on in my life. I resigned from the church the first time because I thought it was a hoax, and then I missed my friends, and I was lonely, so I joined again, and I had to listen to the missionaries and be baptized again and all that stuff. And then after 2 or 3 months, I went to the stake president and said, you know what, this isn't any better than it was the first time. My ass is out of here, and I resigned. I wrote a piece of paper and resigned from the Mormon church. They didn't excommunicate me. So I'm not justifying that I was a Mormon. What I'm justifying is you in the cult have been trained to believe no one that's active or intelligent could leave your cult. Not true. There's many of us that are ex-Mormons that have resigned. You have many people in your ward that have already resigned, and you'll see more. So you can keep it in your back of the head that, you know, I didn't work at the church. I did. No one wanted the Mormon church to be true more than me, the bard. And when I found out it wasn't, it was devastating. It was crushing. It was emotionally being torn and losing my friends and my associates and my family. They shunned. They shunned. They shunned. They shunned. So anyway, Poo Poo, whatever. I've been active, and I was for over a half a century. So there's no excuse for me to be out of the church. No one has ever hurt my feelings. I wasn't excommunicated. I'm fairly intelligent. I have 2 master's degrees, so it's not a matter of ignorance. I graduated from BYU and 4 years of seminary. So if you think I should have worked harder, that's your opinion. But anyway, health and enable, marrow on the bone, strength and loins and sinew, power and priesthood be upon me and upon my posterity through all generations of time and throughout all eternity. That is the name of the second token of the Melchizedek priesthood. And the true order of prayer is pay me, lay me, and ail me, which is back in the 90s there. Now it's, oh God, hear the words of my mouth. And the penalties were cutting me under the throat, tearing my heart out, and cutting my big fat stomach. So, Poo Poo, maybe I didn't work hard enough. I don't know. In your opinion, that's fine. But there are Mormons that are intelligent and get the hell out of there. So this is the bard, and he's gone.